The tools needed to install your K&N 773070 KP air intake system are a socket set, a flat blade screwdriver, a T15 Torx wrench, a 5/8 wrench, a drill, and a 5/8 drill bit. To begin installation on your K&N 773070 KP, turn off the vehicle's ignition and disconnect the negative battery cable. Disconnect the mass air sensor electrical connection. Lift up on the engine cover and remove it from the vehicle. Unhook the radiator hose mount from the intake tube. Unhook the crankcase vent line from the intake tube plenum. Loosen the hose clamp which secures the stock intake tube, then remove the intake tube from the vehicle. K&N recommends that customers do not discard their factory air intake. Rotate the crankcase vent line on the valve cover port. Release the locking tab and remove the crankcase vent line from the valve cover. Pull firmly upward to release the airbox assembly from the mounting grommets. Remove the two screws securing the mass air sensor to the airbox and then remove the mass air sensor from the airbox. Install the mass air sensor into the K&N intake tube and secure it with the provided hardware. Install the heat shield mounting bracket onto the heat shield using the provided hardware. Next, install the provided edge trim onto the heat shield. Some trimming will be necessary. Remove the airbox mounting grommet from the airbox mounting plate. Secure the 5/16 inserted nut into the heat shield. Set the heat shield into position with the inserted nut installed into the airbox mounting grommet location. Mark the heat shield mounting location for drilling. Remove the heat shield assembly and drill a 5/8 hole at the marked location. Install the remaining 5/16 inserted nut into the heat shield. Reinstall the heat shield assembly onto the airbox mounting plate and secure the two 5/16 bolts provided. Secure the mounting bracket to the inner fender with the hardware provided. Be sure to place one fender washer on each side of the inner fender. Install the filter adapter onto the heat shield and secure with the provided hardware. Next, install the silicone hose onto the filter adapter and secure with the provided hose clamp. Install the silicone hose onto the throttle body and secure with the provided hose clamp. Install the provided 1/4 NPT fitting into the K&N intake tube. Next, install the K&N intake tube into the silicone hoses at the filter adapter and throttle body. Secure them with the provided hardware. Install the provided crankcase vent hose onto the valve cover vent port, and then connect the open end to the 1/4 NPT fitting on the K&N intake tube. Install the K&N air filter onto the filter adapter and secure it with the provided hardware. Reconnect the mass air sensor electrical connection. Reinstall the engine cover. Reconnect the vehicle's negative battery cable. Double check to make sure everything is tight and properly positioned before starting the vehicle. After 100 miles of driving, check the nuts and bolts and retighten if necessary.